All right, let's get it, y'all. 15 minutes of fire. 15 minutes of fire. Good morning, millionaires. Let's get it. If you didn't grab your 90-day planner yet, it's a good day to do it. We got more orders coming out today. Your massive action planner. You want to end the year hard, man. You know what I mean? I see too many people talking about next year, my year. There's still a lot. There's still a lot of time left in this year, baby. Yeah, good morning. Rita B in the house. It's cracking, Queen. I'm glad you made it in this morning. Check it out, Rita. I want you to make sure you let me grab something. I want everybody to go. Yeah, shalom. What's up, Tamisha? I want everybody to appreciate that, Chris. Appreciate that, Queen. I want everybody to make sure that you go and put in your examples from Tuesday's training. Tuesday's training, we went through these it was kind of like somebody called it a mini Kaizen training. I ain't mad at that description. We went hard with this this system that I want you to use, because too many people are asking questions the wrong way. Yeah, good morning, Queen. Too many people are asking questions the wrong way. So what I want you to do is, let me see. I'm going to see if I can put it in the comments real quick. I want you to get more serious about the way you answer questions and the way you ask questions, the way you set people up with the questions. The way you set up the question is just as important as the way you there we go. All right, so I just boom. I just pinned it into Facebook. The way you set the question up is just as important as the question itself. Ain't that something? So I just put it in the Facebook. I put the YouTube there because I really want you to try it. I want you to, really go through the exercise and attempt to run it. If you're watching on Facebook, I put it there in the comments. If not, then let me find another way I can do this. I pinned it to the top in the Facebook comment. It's time to call in on the line, man. Time be flying, boy.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time, because we're going to... Please answer your...
That's right. We're going to bring the millionaire out in you. You know what it is.
All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
All right. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling good this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach, and I'm somebody who hates criticism, man. I'm gonna go ahead and admit that to you. I got a therapy appointment this morning, baby, because I get so defensive when I get criticized, especially if I feel like I'm giving my all. It's just something that we all go through as human beings. But as an entrepreneur, let me tell you something that will jack you up. Yeah, Miss Nixon, happy Veterans Day. Miss Shirley, you know you could have told me that last night. Good morning, good morning. Okay, you did your homework, Queen? All right, yeah, add it to the comments. You can add it to the comments on YouTube. I appreciate that. I put it in the comments there in the Facebook page. I threw it up there. Hey, Mrs. Goins. All right. Wilmington checking in this joint. Okay, Alan, you made it in. Good, bro. So, speaking of criticism, speaking of feedback, I will give you feedback on the way that you play it. But I want you to watch that training, Millionaires. I want you to get down how, a lot of times we focus on the mindset part, and then sometimes we focus on the skill set part, right? Sometimes it's heart set. But the skill set piece, man, I feel like we've been slipping on that lately. So y'all are going to see me step that up a little bit. We have to work on our skills as entrepreneurs because the devil be overworking this thing. And us as God's people, we got to work at least as hard as that fool. Like I say, it ain't really the devil be lazy. It's sometimes it ain't really the devil be working. It's just really God's people be lazy a little bit. We be feeling entitled, and I know this may feel like criticism, but check it out. When you're criticized, it's not always easy to admit your faults. That's why you have coaches. That's why you have mentors. That's why you have counterparts and teammates that you trust. A lot of times, though, you're probably going to insist you're right. I don't know how many of you went through that. If the feedback I gave you, if you tried the exercise and I gave you good feedback, let me see it in the comments now. If you appreciated the feedback, if you saw the way I was able to edit it and help you fix that thing around. A lot of times, though, our big reflex is to insist that we're right? Or we just ignore the criticism completely. But millionaires, what I want you to understand is you can make a lot more money if you get to the place where you take note of the criticism that you receive. Because a lot of times that criticism you receive might be the key to your success versus people just yes-manning you to death. Sometimes it's hard to set aside your pride. I get it. But here's the thing. If you set aside your pride, then don't expect to improve, right? After all, how can you change without admitting you need to change? How can you change without admitting you need to change? So I'm going to give you 5 reasons why criticism is the key to your success. And if you're ready for the first one, give me a number 1 in the share. Yeah, good, Jerry. Yeah, no problem. I want y'all to go through it on Facebook, go through it on YouTube, and you're going to see the way other people laid out their questions and the way I edited them joints so that you can use it. You are asking questions the wrong way, I almost guarantee it. All right. Here's the first way that criticism makes you more money. 1, criticism is the key to improvement. Yeah, I know. It's a lot more comfortable if you never knew what you did wrong. After all, a bit of criticism can start to hurt your ego. You hear me? But yeah, Demeter, how can you change without admitting you need to change, without admitting that you need to improve? If you receive no feedback, millionaires, if you receive no feedback, literally, how can you know what you're doing wrong? How can you know what your opportunities for improvement are? How can you change for the better? Criticism might sting, but if you learn to accept it and act on it, it'll help you evolve into a better version of yourself. I talk about this all the time at our corporate headquarters, right? For those that don't know, we have a financial services company, right? It's a fintech-based company, but there's still a really huge human element to it. And what I try to explain to everybody is that it's the criticism that's really going to make us the greatest in the game. Because it ain't the people that, they're brown nosing you and yes manning you and making you think that everything is so sweet with everything you're doing. It's the people who are angry. Our biggest opportunity for improvement is the angry client. They did a consulting firm did a bunch of research, right? Where they analyzed data from all these leadership teams to discover what they called the ideal praise to criticism ratio. And what they found out is that the leaders who received the most negative comments were the ones who improved the most. Ain't that something? Plus, the researchers also found that the people who got the most negative feedback had the most room to grow. Now, interestingly, This isn't surprising when you consider the fact that the more constructive criticism you receive, the more effort you'll exert to be better. After all, what criticism does is make you take a step back and evaluate your current performance. This way, you're always thinking about the journey to improvement. Does that make sense, y'all? They say criticism should be like rain, where it's gentle enough to nourish a man's roots without destroying them, right? It should be gentle enough to nourish a man's growth without destroying his roots. If you're ready for number 2, here we go. Criticism also helps you avoid complacency. Criticism helps you avoid complacency. I don't know if you realize it, man, but when everything is going right, it's easy to fall into a rut. When everything is comfortable and you're just cooling out, you don't recognize that you're trading in $100,000 a month for $100,000 a year, right? You're so settled in that $100,000 a year, you're not realizing that that's keeping you from your potential. You get comfortable enough, you stop even trying to improve yourself. It's not until you get out of that complacency. After all, when life is all smooth, why not just relax? Why should you even exert any effort in the first place? But here's the problem. If you go long periods of time without ever flexing your muscle, what happens? That muscle begins to atrophy. Long periods of complacency will make you stray from the path of success, because in this world ain't no maintain. You're either growing or you're dying. Just imagine not caring about improvement, right? Just imagine not caring about getting better or not even trying to stay ahead of the game. Ain't that crazy? I don't know, man. That's not how we like to play it around here. You might be successful now, but it won't always stay that way if you ain't careful. I hope that makes sense to somebody out there. Hold up. Let me see what's going on. Okay. All right. We in business. Can everybody see me on Facebook? It's telling me that something's going wrong on Facebook. Here's the third one, y'all. Give me a number 3 in the share if you're ready for number 3. All right, the YouTube gang checking in. I love that. I love that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Persevere or perish. I love that, Neff. All right, here's the third one. Criticism teaches you how to listen. Can you imagine a boss that never listens or a manager that never listens? You ever experienced that? In his world, he's always right. People who thought otherwise were wrong, to the point that he would openly fight the people that criticize him or her. Y'all ever experienced this? Eventually, what happens? That person's team comes to accept that there's no reasoning with this fool. There's no way to dissent. There's no way to put out some of your best ideas, because if he don't agree with it, he's going to shoot it down. I've had partners like that. And even if they aren't the one that's ruling with the iron fist, they're just a jerk. They're just a somebody that slows down everything. They're a human obstacle. If they make unreasonable demands, then you just got to accept that that's the way things are. All that's going to do is make you hate your job. All that's going to do is make you eventually try to get away from this person, right? All you're going to do is try to get out of work as much as you can. How do you think this story ends? What criticism does, though, is it teaches you how to listen, because it's real easy to insist you're right, even after the manager or a teammate or a friend or a family member criticizes your performance. After all, you believe they don't have a clear grasp on the situation and what it is you were thinking when you were doing it, right? They don't know the whole story. So it's easy to ignore them. But if you want to learn to succeed, millionaire, you should continuously believe that you are on the right path, but that does not mean that you can't believe that somebody has a way to make it better. Better is such a beautiful word, y'all. Just because you're on the right path, aka you want to be the best, does not mean that you cannot get better, that you cannot move further, faster, with less effort. If you constantly think that you know the answer, then what you're doing is blocking out the opportunity. The moment you learn to listen is the first step towards your future success. Not only are you going to understand the other person's point of view, but it's an opportunity to listen to their advice. It's an opportunity to ask for more of their advice, because they're saying this because they've got some kind of point. Sometimes if you're a certain personality type like Winter, it's hard for you to kind of see that this other person's point of view has a jewel in there, especially if they're an indirect communicator, especially if there's someone who isn't as articulate. Sometimes there's a little bit of a science involved in helping coax that jewel out of them. But they've got something to share with you, and it took courage for them to step to you. So honor that courage that they're displaying. Don't get offended. Don't get defensive. Treat this as an opportunity to listen to them. If you're ready for number 4, give me a number 4. What that does is that begins to build positive relationships. And now you have all of these brains around you working on you improving. When you think about it, that's the perfect situation to be in. When you think about it, what you want is a bunch of minds around you that are all dedicated to helping you improve. They're helping you improve in private. What the public sees is a result of all of that. But in your private quarters, and you say, well, it ain't private if it's in the middle of the boardroom. Yeah, that's still private because there's a whole world out there. There's a whole other set of opportunities that you'll be involved in this time next year, this time 5 years from now. This little private setting right here, be it a boardroom, be it your own home, be it a family reunion, you hear me? That's still private compared to the world that's out there. And what you've got to do is learn to mine the minds around you for the jewels that can help you shine. Here's number 4, y'all. We only got 2 more minutes. Golly. Criticism helps you overcome weaknesses, y'all. Criticism helps you overcome weaknesses. Check it out, Allie. It's still a safe space because you've decided it's a safe space. You get what I mean? See, environment is stronger than willpower, but environment ain't stronger than your thoughts. You get what I mean? You're the one that decides it's a safe space. So I appreciate you saying that, Queen. Here's number 4. It helps you overcome weaknesses. Let's say you already know your weaknesses, right? You know you don't deliver when it comes to presentations, right? You know you ain't convincing enough. You know you don't always pitch the right ideas. You don't always say it the way you had it in your head. However, you don't have the sense of urgency to overcome it. You hear me? Because nobody's complaining about it anyway. So what's the rush? Why not take your time? To solve this, it might be important to receive a little criticism. One of the reasons why this works is because negative criticism can grab your attention. Now it's a wake-up call, right? You suck at public speaking. Nobody wants to listen to you. Even your boss is criticizing you. But when you're faced with this scenario, your frustration with your current performance will motivate you to try harder. Plus, constant criticism increases your sense of urgency to make an effort to overcome these weaknesses so you can make them shut the hell up. So the next time you deliver a pitch or a presentation, what they'll notice is your overwhelming improvement. That's why I started this off with asking you to go to that training from Tuesday and try your best at answering, at using those 3 levels of asking a question. I want you to try your best. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is to always try one more time. And here's number 5 I got for you because we almost out of time here. Criticism helps you stay grounded. When you receive all these praise, when you're getting drunk off people's pats on the back, right? Then what happens is the only direction you can go from there is down. You hear me? When you keep getting this for long periods of time, it's easy to get disillusioned. You start to believe your own hype. You think your performance is perfect. Then you start believing you're better than everybody else. One thing my business partner is great at, I'll crush a call. He'll overhear it and he'll be like, hey, you ever thought of such and such? And that used to kind of like touch my little ego until I realized that what he's doing is making me better. Plenty of other people always telling me I'm good at this or I'm good at that. I don't need that crap. What I need is the people that are going to keep it real with me enough for me to create real improvement in my life. But this is what happens to most of us. We get so much praise, our ego gets so big that now we become narcissists. And the minute you receive some negative feedback from a colleague, you damn near want to fight them, right? You think you're so good, you think you're so great that you fight with your colleague and highlight your ascendancy, your huge ego. See, that's why I always remind you, the bigger the ego, the smaller the self-esteem. But the bigger the self-esteem, the smaller you can make your ego. Millionaires, if you want to be successful, then listening to the praise all the time is the wrong path to take. I'm not saying don't journal every morning what you're grateful about. But what I'm saying is you got to take all of the praise with a grain of salt. What you want to pay attention to is the feedback that can help you improve. It is very easy to let your ego get to your head, y'all. But if you want to succeed, if you want to make all the money that you are here to make, so you can take care of all the family and all the friends and all the problems in the world that you want to take care of, you got to use your brain and ignore your ego. This way you can understand your own faults. You can learn to accept the viewpoints of others, and you can begin to see the opportunities for improvement so you can take advantage of them. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you got something out of this. Use that training, y'all, that we just now put up on Tuesday. Use that training. It's very important. I need you to use that training. It's pinned to the top in Facebook. If you need the training on the three-step path to asking better questions, I mean, it's a beautiful technique. Am I right, y'all? Reach out to me and I'll send it to you. Repeat after me, millionaires. I am